Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Big up to everyone over on Chelsea Fan TV, and welcome to another live stream and your daily transfer update. First things first, guys, you know what to do. Make sure you smash the likes on both channels, subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already, and make sure you get involved in the chat. And guys, we have a resolve. We have an answer to the situation. The Mason Mount saga is now over. Mount will be joining Manchester United for £55 million plus £5 million of add-ons. So total package £60 million, set to earn 250k per week, with bonuses potentially taking it to 300k. He'll sign a 5-year contract with an option for a 6th year. He's on holiday at the moment, so the medical will take place once he returns. But the Mason Mount saga is over. So we don't have to talk about this anymore after tonight. It's done and dusted. Obviously, we don't know what the full story is. It'll be interesting to see what his goodbye statement is like. But that is the big news from today. Obviously, looking at replacements as well. We're being linked with Gabri Veiga and Mohamed Kudus from Celta Vigo and Ajax. Obviously, a deal for Veiga is going to be much easier to do given his relatively cheap release clause at £34 million. A deal for Kudus is going to be a lot tougher given that Ajax are unlikely to want to lose Timber and Kudus in the same window. Chelsea reportedly not wanting to spend big on a goalkeeper either, rather get a younger or more experienced goalkeeper to challenge Kepa. Obviously, Andre Onana reportedly going to cost 50 to 55 million euros, so not really sure of its financials as to why Chelsea have pulled out. But there is lots and lots to get into as always. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat and then we will get into it. Reece James Kingdom, it's over. We need to find a player with Mount quality. Agreed. Daniel, big up for tuning in. Sorry, bro. I did bring it forward 15 minutes. So if you're still here, big up. If not, mate, you can always watch it back. Yeah, that would be nice. Don't know what that. Someone's gonna have to explain what that means. Michael, big up, my guy. Thanks for tuning in. I've seen those quotes from Rio, but then in the same quotes, Rio did also say that all we've got in midfield is Conor Gallagher and didn't even mention Enzo Fernandez. So yeah, I'll take what he says with a little bit of a pinch of salt. We need to buy a replacement for Mount to help rotate within Nkunku. Absolutely. Son of Zeus, big up. I believe there was something behind the scenes for Mount to leave, to be honest. Yeah, I know, absolutely. It's not... The problem is there's so much information out there that it's really difficult to know what's right and what isn't right, and we may never get to the bottom of the situation as to exactly what's happened. I don't know how much Mount's going to say when he pens his goodbye message and all that sort of thing, but yeah, something's obviously gone on for this to happen, because this realistically shouldn't have really happened. Clear out has been incredible. Yeah, the clear out has been mad. Fair play to everyone. Fair play. I'll get into this in a sec. Let me just say hello to a few more people. RD, big up, my guy. Finally, fair enough. People are going to have different opinions on this. It's all love at the end of the day. Show me couldn't have stayed, but good luck to him. Let them go. I'm really excited to see the next new Chelsea come next season. Yeah, one thing I would say is it's great that these players have gone, but let's not everyone get too excited, because the players that come in have got to be better. So we've only done half the job. If the incomings are not the best, then it's an issue. Shavinda, big up, my guy. Maybe. If we are honest, how confident are we of being development FC? None of this feels good at the moment. Our only registered DM is Ampadu. Well, yeah, Ampadu's going to be sold as well, I imagine. I'll miss him as well. I'll get into this in a sec. Sad to say, but glad it's all done at this point. Absolutely agree. I think that's the overwhelming thing. It's just massively glad that it's done. I'm getting worried about the Kaisado deal. No, I wouldn't worry about Kaisado too much just yet. Yeah, admin deserves a pay rise. Big up to that. I'll go through that as well if people haven't seen it. Also, is again, I don't know if it's as simple as that. Big up, my guy. Time we face the cold hard truth that we are PE owned. I don't know if they're being treated as public private equity firm. Can't believe we're going to go into next season with Kepa as number one. Let's wait and see. Not bothered being to nearly every home game last season. No, 12's not good enough either. I was at a lot of games last season as well. And yeah, look, we obviously weren't good enough, and there's loads of reasons as to why we weren't good enough. This clear out's been long overdue, probably 3-4 years in the making. Fair play. Do you think one goal? Yeah, but it's not about that. People are bigging up Felix, and he scored 4 goals against relegation teams, or 3 goals, whatever it was. So that record isn't good enough, and doesn't need, and obviously it needs an improvement for sure. Of course it does, but we can't just judge players on what they do against the top 6, and that's the barometer of whether they're any good or not. What do I think about Kaisado? Top player. Top player. Don't rate Veiga. I mean, people are quick to not rate Veiga, but how many people have actually watched him? I'm not saying I'm one of those that has watched him, by the way, a lot. But people seem to be coming to their conclusions. Because he's 21 and he plays for Celta Vigo, that, oh, he can't be that good. It doesn't work like that. What else have we got here? Did the hierarchy at the club tell the manager not to play him out? No, he was injured. He had a pelvic issue that he had for quite a while. Yeah, we are, whatever you think of it, we are getting business done. We need to remember that we get fifth in the league. Yeah, we do. But what I would say on that comment, by the way, is that fifth's no guarantee. Aston Villa are moving mad in the market. So are Newcastle. Arsenal are going to be there or thereabouts again. Some City, United will go again. Liverpool won't be a shit either. That's 7 teams there. You know, there's no guarantees that. It's about 8 teams that could go for those top 5 places in the league. Brighton as well, make that 9. So, like, we're all sitting here presuming that Chelsea are going to get back in the Champions League, but there's no guarantees of that. That's what I'm trying to say, and we shouldn't be taking it as a given. Mourinho would never sell the deadwood this fast. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now it's time to focus on our targets. Agreed. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Man United were never in the race. No, they weren't. They tried to sort of mug us off. Mason Mount, thank you and goodbye at the Chelsea. Agreed. Nani played well the other night. Yeah, it was man of the match for the 21s. Big season for him next season. What else have we got in the chat, people? Aren't we short on midfielders? Now, we are short on midfielders at the moment, but that will be addressed. What else have we got here? Prediction on 5th, I suppose. I'll go with the 5th at this point in time. Just get us back in the Champions League. I think that's the big thing. Yeah, we do need more signings. We need probably 2 or 3 to come in, that, in my opinion. Now it's time for us to buy players. Yep, agreed on all this. What else is going on in the chat? Kaisado to Man City. No, I don't think that's going to happen. We can't make assumptions and get our hopes up this early. No, absolutely. Mount was never. Look, I'm going to hold judgment on this until more stuff comes out, because there's always 2 or 3 sides to every story for sure. But yeah, people, let's get into this then. Let's get into this. And this is, guys, an emotional time for us. This is the last time that we're going to discuss this. So I might bring, to be fair, when his goodbye statement comes out, I'll probably bring that up as well. But yeah, this is probably the last time that we're going to talk about this. I know you've thoroughly enjoyed all the conversations on the streams about this, but let's get into it. So obviously, United agreed a £60 million package for Mason Mount. It's done. Personal terms agreed weeks ago. Face-to-face talks between the clubs made it clear the agreement is done. Mount becomes a United player. They obviously never left the race, as we expected. You know, tactics to try and get us to shift our stance. I think, did we just end up accepting the 55 plus 5, which was the 60? I think that's... I think we just ended up accepting the offer we rejected, didn't we? Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, because they did 40, 50 plus 5, and then 55 plus 5. I think we just ended up accepting what we initially rejected. Or maybe, so yeah, maybe we look a bit stupid on that one. But yeah, so Mount's obviously going to join Man United as we've touched on. What I would also say on this front is that he's going to sign a 6-year contract, 5 years with an option of an additional year. He's going to own 250 grand a week with the ability to take it up to 300k with bonuses, according to Matt Law. Look, it is what it is. We knew this was coming, but look, for me and other guys are going to think differently. At the end of the day, football's a game of opinions and whatnot, and that's absolutely fine. At the end of the day, it's all love between us in the chat and all that sort of thing. We're going to have different opinions and whatnot, but you know, we're not going to dislike each other for having different opinions. It is what it is. I feel that for me, perhaps for me being English as well, maybe that makes a little bit of a difference. But I feel that, you know, it's a disappointing day when someone that's been at the club since 8 years of age, has gone all the way through the ranks, all the way into the first team, been instrumental in winning the Champions League for the club, has left and joined Man United. This is the first guy to really, you know, it's look, for me, it's this. I'm disappointed to see this happen. It kind of feels a bit weird. Players come and go and leave Chelsea all the time. You know, better players will leave Chelsea than Mount. Look, Chelsea existed before Mount, with Mount, and it will exist long after Mount. No player is bigger than the club, but at the end of the day, you know, I feel this, for me, this could have easily been avoided. You know, I'm not sure how it's come to this situation. Look, on Ruben briefly, because I can see it being brought up in the chat. Ruben's been fantastic for Chelsea, but I don't think he look, he's very well respected by the fans. The fans love Ruben for all he's done, but he's not been instrumental in kind of winning us the Champions League. He's not been, as instrumental in all our recent success. So I guess that's why it's a little bit different. Of course, I'm glad to see Ruben go as well. The guy's been here since I think he was 6, his whole life. He's going to AC Milan, and all the best to him. In terms of a deal for Chelsea, once it became clear that Mount didn't want to stay, I think £60 million for a player with 1 year left on his contract that didn't want to be at the club is pretty good business. To get £125 million for Mount and Havertz combined, that's fantastic business. But I don't know. It does, for me personally, it does hurt a little bit. And this is just my opinion. At the end of the day, and people can agree or disagree. Everyone's going to have their opinions, and I'm cool with that. That's not an issue. So, for me personally, I feel this could have easily been avoided. In my opinion, I'm not quite sure what's happened to make this relationship irreparable and beyond repair. I'm really not sure what's gone on behind the scenes. It's clear that it's not all on Mount and it's not all on the club. It's going to be a combination of the two. I suspect Mount's received pretty bad advice, maybe from his dad or from other individuals involved. I think the club haven't. It was a third offer, 50 plus 5, was it? Fair enough then. I'll get into Pulisic news in a sec, a bit later on. But yeah, look, obviously him going to United's not ideal. Obviously, for me, him leaving is not great. I would have preferred for him to have stayed, not because he's going to start every week, but because he could be a very good squad player for us. And then, and look, people are saying that he's just left for money. Just wait for all the facts to come out. Yeah, of course, money's going to be a factor at play in this situation, but it's not going to be the only reason why. And ultimately, for me, for me, it's weird that academy graduates that get hate from the club. I mean, I didn't follow other club fan bases, mate. He's finished. He's done. See you later. It's been Manchester Minerals. Off he goes to Old Trafford with Mason. Yeah, deluded geezer. Yeah. Anyway, what we're saying is that obviously going to United is not great. It's disappointing. It feels weird seeing him in that. And it's just a situation that could have so easily been avoided in my opinion. This should have been dealt with after. This should have been dealt with after the Champions League in Porto. It should have been locked down to a new contract at that point in time. It wasn't. But what's kind of clear to me is that it seems that something's different. Maybe the directors didn't rate Mason Mount. Maybe they changed their mind on him. I'm not really sure. But we're taking a long-term view here, which is clear. But as soon as someone says they won't sign a new deal and will leave on a free, that's it. That you have to sell them. You have to sell them. It's as simple as that. I mean, look, it's a tricky one for me. But I think what's clear to me is that the directors have possibly changed their mind on this. And for me, having been at this club for such a young age, I think he'll be devastated that it's ended the way it has. He should have been here for a long time. Look, we've had some great memories with Mason. Players reject contract offers. Very few players accept the first offer. I don't know why this was so public, and so publicly played out like that. But for me, it's clear that it's the directors maybe don't rate him, or they feel that he's replaceable, or what it is. But obviously we had to sell because we don't want to lose someone like him on a free. You're not going to run the risk of missing out on 60 mil to then just to lose him for nothing. But he definitely wasn't sold for FFP issues, because we've already made £150 million gross, I think, and 91 million cash in the bank before the deal for Mount. So we didn't sell him for financial reasons. But the problem is people want to deal with absolutes and then make wild assumptions about everything else. He's out of contract in a year. He couldn't agree a new one. The sporting directors perhaps didn't rate him, which to me seems a bit odd. Maybe they disagreed on salary, but ultimately, if a deal can't be agreed, you have to sell, and that is the situation that we're in at this point, that we found ourselves at this point in time. That's more than we would have paid him, and fair play to him. Obviously he's earned a lot of money in his career, but from his 75, 80k contract at Chelsea to that, fair play. And obviously, it depends what the bonuses are in the contract. But yeah, he's got the money that he probably felt he deserved. And he's got to move to a massive football club as well. Father, big up my guy. Big up my guy. Hope you're good, bro. Hope you're good. Football, look, this is the thing though. Like, loyalty's never existed in football. I think the problem that a lot of fans have got is that they expect players to be as loyal to the club as fans are. Like, as players, it's a job, and you kind of move around to clubs. As a fan, you've got your team, and that's it. You don't swap your team. But obviously, with players, and it's not everyone. Some players will be one club men, but ultimately, it's a job, and players move around. So this idea that fans expect players to have the same level of loyalty to the club as us is a bit of a fantasy, in my opinion. But look, it doesn't sit well with me that he's gone to Man United. But ultimately, it's better than us losing him on a free and then going to Man United a year later. Wonder what Poch said about Mount staying or leaving. No idea, to be honest. No idea. Nah, not for me. Not for me. There is, but this is 3 examples. There's always examples against the grain, but generally speaking, loyalty doesn't exist in football. That's my point that I'm trying to make. Look, booing players is not my style. But look, fans have got a right to express their opinions in a way that they wish to do so. Arda Gulan, I think he's called, from Fenerbahce. I don't know. They ended up doing a sensible thing in the end if it wasn't going to work. No, I agree on that. Felix, people going on about Felix. Felix is a no for me because it's just another one of those players that's going to be on massive wages, and he's just another one of those players that hasn't really got much end products. Is nice with his feet in and around the box. We don't really need another one of those players, in my opinion. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's wait and see what facts come out on this situation. There was loyalty, but that is few and far between. Now support the club, not the players. No, I absolutely agree on that. People are always going to have players that they prefer over others. Are going to have favourite players and all that sort of thing. But ultimately, the biggest thing that matters is the club. The club is the biggest thing. The man that his annoying stands are going with him, which includes Johnny Minerals. Yeah, hopefully. Loan with option to buy with no loan fee and 50% wage by Atletico. But that's never going to happen, though. What else have we got here? The club didn't think he deserved the wages. United offer him past 2 years. He's been... look, I think, to be honest, Mount's been pretty good other than this season. So I think out of the time that he's been here, he's had one bad season, and it's this season. Gula would be a class signing. Again, don't know an awful lot about him. I think it was TT. It was like a TT-like separation. We'd never see eye to eye. Possibly. What else have we got here? I blame both the club and Mount. Club because they withdrew the offer, which was agreed, and Mount because he didn't try to stay. I don't think we know that, though. This is the thing, right? We don't know how hard Mount's tried, and we don't know. We know to an extent what the club have done, but we don't know to the full extent. Ultimately, in this situation, someone's been lying, either the club or Mount, or both have been lying. And let's wait and see what we're going to find out. Really disheartened by this one. I used to see him as a future captain. No, I agree, bro. It's quite a tough one. Seda Gula is a real talent. I have no idea. I haven't gone for him. Maybe because I don't think he's good enough, potentially. I'm not sure. Stronger next season. That's the plan. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Doesn't have to go to United. That's the problem with Bowley. Well, no, because there were no other offers on the table for Mason Mount. There were no other offers. So, ultimately, I don't think any foreign clubs would have paid as much money for him as United did. And, as well, so you're saying, Tim, that you'd rather he left for free than us get 60 million? Like, look, ultimately, yes, you don't want players going to rivals, but, we sold Juan Mata to Man United, a back-to-back player of the year, was kind of a much better player than Mason Mount, and it didn't really happen for him at United. There's no guarantees that Mount will do well at United. I think he will do well at United, but there's no guarantees. Everyone thought that Juan Mata would be amazing at United, and he wasn't. Players come and go, and the players' loyalty in nowadays era has changed a lot. Back in the day, it was very different. Agreed. I liken this move to Townsend leaving us in '93 to move to Villa. We lost a great player back then. We went on to bigger and better things. look, Chelsea will exist, and Chelsea will go on to win big trophies after Mason Mount. It's just, I just feel personally, for me, it's a disappointing slash sad day, but it is what it is. Time to bring players out. No way he's worth 250k a week. Never mentioned football. It also doesn't mention isn't worth. It doesn't exist in football. Sorry. Need depth in midfield and a top striker. Agreed on that. I think Pochettino definitely wanted him to stay. 60 million, a great price. This is the thing, right? People are. I mean, I'll never celebrate players leaving because it's not what I do. But people obviously pleased that players are moving on. But what we need to realise is that the players coming in have got to be better or of a higher standard. That's the thing. There's no point selling these guys, and then the replacements that come in aren't better. If we're going to improve as a squad, we have to bring better players in than the ones we've sold. And the proof's going to be in the pudding on that one. Yes, we've done phenomenal business with these outgoings, but the window can only be considered a success if the guys that are coming in are of quality and are better than the guys that have gone out the door. That's the thing for me. People mentioning James in this discussion of Mount moving stupid. We don't need Felix. We don't need Felix for me. No, absolutely not. I think we need a marquee signing this July. Well, let's see what we can get. Who do you think the best replacement is for Mount? To be honest, I think Chelsea are going to go. I would like us to go for Dominic Szoboszlai from Leipzig. Doesn't appear to be on the list or a main target. For me, it looks like it's going to be Gabri Veiga or Mohamed Kudus. But again, I'm not too sure. Veiga wouldn't be a difficult deal to do, but I'll get onto that in a sec. The contract was offered. He rejected it and asked to leave. He's not drawn it out like Thibaut. They are not the same. Sacrificing Mount to set up the funds for Kane. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, Kane's available on a free potentially next season, so you've got a much better run at it then because you haven't got to deal with Levy. Mason leaving is so sad, but we have to move on up the Chelsea. No, absolutely we do. Do you think Brighton tried to bend us backwards to Kaisado now? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Should have signed when it was offered. Again, depends. Dominic Szoboszlai. I like Szoboszlai. Great on Football Manager as well. We need Felix more creative than what we have. I disagree on Felix. I like Felix, but he's not worth the money, in my opinion. Not worth the money. Yeah, big up, guys. How we doing? Someone's lying. Someone's lying. Journalists get put out information they receive from the clubs at the end of the day. Yep, be disappointed for sure. Seems that Bowley only sells to English clubs. Yeah, no, this is true. I'm more sad about Kovacic and Kante. What for me, what seems to be funny is that we sold Mount to United, Kovacic to City, and Kai Havertz to Arsenal. So we've sold three of our top players to three of the teams that we're competing with. One matter came to a broken United. We'll wait and see. Was United Mount's dream club? No idea. No idea. Havertz had Bayern and Arsenal, Madrid though. Well, Madrid were interested, but they never put a bid in for him. They weren't prepared to pay more than £50 million for him. Bayern interest, but no official bid went in either. Arsenal United are practically bankrolling up pursuit of Kaisado. Yeah, agreed. Reece James is taking sneaky. Yeah, mate. Love Reece. Love Reece. I don't know how we're going to replace so many players in one window. Well, we don't need to replace them all because the squad was way too big. But we need to replace with top quality, and that's not always a guarantee. We do an excellent business. No more players leave for free. No, that is good. Sad to see Mount leave, though. He was end game with Chelsea. Yeah, I'm sad to see him go. But yeah, what else have we got in the chat, people? There's a lot coming in the chat. Let's have a look. Yep, whatever people think, this is now done. It's finished. It's over. Florian Wirtz, he's all right, but again, kind of Havertz, PTSD, and another attacking midfield player from Leverkusen. Yeah, Veiga is cheap. He's not. Look, people like to call Mount a snake, but people aren't waiting for the full story to come out. Newcastle are pushing hard for Szoboszlai, while City have targeted Veiga. City have reportedly targeted Veiga. It's time to start replacing some of these players. Sign Kaisado. What else have we got here? But yeah, it looks like. Look, I agree from a United perspective. I mean, also don't watch as much of United as United fans do, of course. But at the same time, I look at it and I think United would have been better off getting someone that could play alongside Casemiro. I know with 4 competitions next season, they're going to need kind of rotation options for Eriksen, and I think Mount will play a lot of minutes alongside Bruno in the 2 number 8 positions. But yeah, I would have expected a player to play alongside Casemiro would be of more importance. But yeah, the Mount thing's over, guys. All we've got left for Mason Mount is obviously his goodbye statement and kind of see what comes of that. See what gets said in that. Whether anything comes to it. So yeah, Mason Mount is going to be a Man United player. I'm disappointed about it, but at the end of the day, guys, you know, it's done now. We move on. No players bigger than the club. Bigger players have come and gone from Chelsea before and after. So yeah, this is the situation we're in. Mason Mount's going to be a Man United player. Let's see what he says in his goodbye statement that I imagine he'll put out. And we can move on from this, guy. So the Mason Mount saga is officially over. Book closed. Mason Mount's Chelsea career is now officially over, people. He will join Man United in a package worth £60 million, which feels kind of weird, you know. Who would have thought 2 years ago after Porto, if someone said to us, Mount will be a Man United player in 2 years and Kai Havertz will be an Arsenal player, we would have been like, nah, hang on a second, you need to go for a lie down. You're having us on here. Like it's mad, you know. No one would have ever predicted about that. No one would have ever predicted it. So yeah, that's it. Mason Mount joins Man United, and the saga is finally over. I'm glad it's over before Pochettino starts work and before pre-season starts, so we can kind of have a full, clean slate to focus on. But let's move on to Ziyech Al Nasser is all done and dusted. We just haven't had any official club statements on it yet. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that. Glad Havertz has gone. The geezer gave me anxiety. I agreed on that. But yeah, we can move on from Mount. Let's talk about replacements for Mount then. But first things first, guys. Let's get the likes up on the streams, people. I've got 70 people locked in on my channel. Only 33 likes, guys. Come on, people. We can do better than this, guys. You know, please smash the likes on my channel. Smash the likes over on Chelsea Fan TV as well. Let's get Chelsea Fan TV up to over 100 likes towards 150. We've got 315 of us locked in across both channels, people. So please do smash the likes. Let's get my channel to 50, 60 likes if we can, guys. Get Chelsea Fan TV up. It massively helps me out. You know, spreads the stream to more people. It helps in the algorithm. If it wasn't important, I wouldn't keep banging on about it. So yeah, guys, get the likes up on both channels, people. And if you haven't subscribed to both channels either, please make sure you do so. I'll pop the link to my channel and to Chelsea Fan TV in the chat. So please do subscribe to both channels and show us some love. I'm on the road to 4,000 subscribers before the season starts. And over on Chelsea Fan TV, we are looking to hit 200,000 subscribers. So if every new subscriber helps on the journey. So guys, if you could subscribe to both channels, it would be massively, massively appreciated. But let's get into the conversation about replacements for Mason Mount. So we have got here, where is it? Here we go. So Felix reporting that understand two of the names on Chelsea's number 10 position are Gabri Veiga and Mohamed Kudus. Kudus has got interest from Dortmund. Veiga and Kudus seen as young and versatile profiles, with Kudus able to play right wing and Veiga specifically liked by Poch. Veiga is expected to be pushed now that Mount and Havertz have left, as revealed in the thread. Veiga seen as more achievable through the release clause, and Chelsea expects Ajax to be tough with Kudus as they don't want to lose him and Timber in one window. So, you know, interesting in terms of replacements. Now, it's clear that, you know, we're going to be sticking with our recruitment strategy that we've had of, you know, recruiting some of the most exciting young talents in Europe, age range between looking at players in their early 20s. Look, I don't know an awful lot about Gabri Veiga. I know he obviously plays for Celta Vigo. But this is also a good point, you know. Jackson, when he joins, when we get the official statement on him joining, maybe we're waiting for the new shirt to be announced. Fuck knows what's going on with that. Advocating for Chelsea to sign Kudus and Osimhen in January. Yeah, this is true. This is something that needs to be thought about as well. You know, Jackson will go off in January for the AFCON. If you sign Kudus, it would be exactly the same, and it would be the same with Osimhen as well. So we would be missing these players for a month at least. Never heard much about either. Kudus is very good. I'm a big fan of Mohamed Kudus, a big fan. We have plenty of depth. We need to trust them. Yeah, but we don't have any depth in the number 10 position. That's the point. Yep, Chelsea. Yeah, we've done massively well on the player departures. Really, really well. Look, that's one thing you have to praise the owners for. Absolutely superb in the way that they've got this many players. I don't think anyone felt that we would be able to get rid of this many players this quickly. You know, it's remarkable. It's an overhaul like you've never seen before. This many players out the door, more to come. You know, it's something that you'd normally try and do over 2 or 3 windows, but you know, we seem to be doing it in one, and it's great. New FFP window will open in 2 days. We'll go for it. Yeah, quite possibly. Carney and Santos. Kudos is great. I'm a big fan. Do you think letting Mount go to United is a good idea? It was not a good idea, but we didn't have a choice. That's the reality of the situation. We didn't have a choice on that. Chelsea fanatic, big up my guy. Hopefully now we'll see those fake Chelsea fans when they leave with Mount. Yep, agreed on that one. What else we got here? Let's go for Edson Alvarez. Edson Alvarez was meant to go to Dortmund, but that fell through. That fell through last minute as well. So he's still at Ajax at this point in time. Not sure if they'll try again or where he'll go. I would like to see Ward-Prowse coming from out. No, I'm sorry, I'm Chicken Tikka. An absolute no from me. It's not a direct replacement, and Ward-Prowse is not that good. I'm sorry. Kudos is 45 million probably. Yeah, I'd say around that mark. I don't know how many years he's got left on his contract, but yeah, look, Veiga's obviously. Yeah, Kaisado and Santos in midfield. Szoboszlai's already proven to work well within Kunku. Agreed on that. Yeah, Ward-Prowse is not an upgrade, guys. I'm sorry for the Ward-Prowse fans in here. Fair, but it's a no from me on that one, people. An absolute no. But yeah, for me at this point in time, it very much looks like it is going to be. Gabri Veiga from the indications that we're getting at this point in time. You know, we're getting a lot of briefings coming out, reports coming out that, you know, now that Mount's gone, Chelsea are going to step up for Gabri Veiga. A £34 million release clause really isn't that much money to pay at all in this day and age. 21 years of age. He's got some good attributes. He's still raw, needs coaching, needs developing as a player, and you know, there's not many places, not many better managers to work under to develop as a player as Pochettino. Veiga again is more of a number 8, could push up to a 10 potentially as well. But again, you know, he's not unproven because he's been playing for Celta Vigo in La Liga, which is a good level of football. Scored 2 goals against Barcelona on the last day of the season. I wonder if Rafa Benitez going to Celta is going to maybe convince him to stay. Ultimately, if the release clause is met, there's nothing that can be done. So yeah, look, Veiga at 21. Let's hope that City don't come in, because if City come in, then it's probably curtains for us in that one. But I don't know. I like Veiga, but again, we don't really know how well these guys are going to do at the end of the day. That's the big thing. How well are these guys really going to do? I mean, guys, who else are you looking at in a sort of an 8/10 position? To probably to rotate within Kunku to replace Mount, because you know, Veiga, Kudos, Szoboszlai. Anyone else got any other names they want to throw out there in the chat? Mate, Mark, that'd be great, but it is absolutely not happening. Osimhen is not financially possible. No, I don't think so either. How about 65 Mount, 60 cover, 30. No, Koulibaly wasn't 30. Koulibaly was, we got about 20, got just under 20 million pounds for him. Mendy's 18 million. So yeah, and Ziyech, we're not getting 20 million for Ziyech, we're getting about 8 million for Ziyech. Bringford, no, absolutely not. City wants Veiga too. Yeah, they're reportedly they're interested. Do you think we should buy Frank Kessie from Barcelona? Kessie's not really. Kessie's more of a box-to-box midfielder rather than like an 8 or a 10. Look, I wouldn't be. Look, I think he's a good player. I really liked him when he was at AC Milan, but I don't necessarily think he's the answer to what we're looking for at Chelsea. But look, I don't think it's terrible if we're putting it that way. I don't think it's terrible. But it wouldn't be my first choice. Guys, as Nick said, keep hitting that like button. What are we on at the moment on my channel? 54, guys. We've got 80 of us locked in on my channel. Let's get this up to 60, 70 likes, people. Let's try and even hit 100, guys. Fuck it. Thursday night. Let's try and hit 100 likes, people, on the channel. And, guys, get those likes up over on Chelsea Fan TV as well. And if you're not subscribed, you know what to do, people. Click that subscribe button. Chelsea committing transfer suicide. Let's wait and see. The squad clear out was massively needed, but ultimately it's going to depend on the incomings as to how successful this window has been. I can see us getting Kane and going big for him. I'd love that, but let's wait and see what happens. I still think it's a strong no. Breaking news, Kaisado. Fair. Should be. Absolutely not, Michael. Absolutely not. We don't need any more centre-backs either. Look at Gabri of Barcelona. Gabri Veiga might be just as good. I think that's a bit of a stretch, maybe. A very talented boy, I think. What else have we got? Trick us into Maguire. I think we should focus on the Premier League proven players for at least 2 incomings. Oh, it looks like Kaisado is going to be one of those. Yeah, that's a bit of a wavy shout. Maybe my guys had too many drinks tonight and is not quite thinking straight. Maguire, absolutely not. I mean, that is a madness to be suggesting that in the chat. Hopefully that was banter. The best man was Pellegrini from Roma. No way that we'd get him out of Roma, I don't think. That's the Sky Sports report. We cornered the Saudis, apparently. Yeah, no, those fees aren't correct. Sterling and Pulisic next out. Sterling won't be going, but Pulisic, yep. Gallagher, let's hope he gets sold. Look, we can't sell everyone, but let's wait and see what happens. I like Elise from Crystal Palace. I also am a massive fan of Eze. I think Eze is a great player as well. But again, let's wait and see what happens, people. Do you think that spot? Yeah, for sure. He would have been fully aware that there was a massive squad clear out was going to take place, and a lot of players are going to be moving out the door. And I believe he would have been consulted on a lot of those as well. But I think he would have fully known. What else? We have enough ball boys, thank you. No way we get Xavi Simons right. No, I wouldn't have thought so. I'm not sure we're interested in him either. We've got Enzo, Gallagher, Carney, Santos, Kaisado, and maybe Kaisado. I personally don't think we need another midfielder. Look, I was saying this the other day. At some point, we're going to have to put our money where our mouth is and trust what we're doing. And these young guys will need to get a chance. However, if we went into next season with those 6 as our midfielders, you're taking a big gamble, in my opinion. I think, one of those will go on loan, Carney, Santos, and Kaisado, maybe even 2 of them. Gallagher could still be sold. So, yeah, look, we do at some point we have to back and believe in what we're doing and give these guys a chance. I just don't know when the club are going to decide that's the right route to go down. In Kunku and Kudos will be a good rotation for 10. Absolutely agree. No, he wasn't. Good banner. Definitely not going to happen, but we'd love Zaha on a free. Yeah, Zaha is an interesting one. He's again on a free transfer, but he's on big wages though. So I don't know if he probably has to take a pay cut to join Chelsea, which would kind of sound mad when you think about it. But yeah, he probably would have to take a pay cut to join Chelsea, which is a mad thing to think. Get Kaisado, yeah. No, Poch definitely wasn't unaware. Matthias Runo's from Wolves, but I know we're not linked to him. No, again, another good player, but not linked to him. No, absolutely not. I think Brozovic has gone to Saudi. I think that's pretty much just been agreed. Brozovic is going to Al Nassr. So yeah, that's done. Brozovic to Al Nassr is done. So yeah, that's that. Lukaku plus cash for Barella could be possible, maybe, although these swap deals are so hard to do. Lautaro Martinez or Osimhen, who would be a better striker for Chelsea? I don't know. It's a tough one. Obviously, Osimhen's the better player, but ultimately, if you're looking for a fit for Chelsea, maybe Martinez could be better. If Pochettino wants Martinez and decides that he's right for his system and he can make it work, then that's what we have to go for. We have to give the manager. We have to give the manager what he wants, in my opinion. I know, some people aren't going to like that, but ultimately, that's what we need to do. That is what we need to do ultimately, guys. Is give the manager what to do. Yep, good, all very good. No chance we're getting Pellegrini. I think Amadou will come to Chelsea. Well, Amadou and Anna, the Everton midfielder. Chelsea sold Havertz amount for 125. Yes, good business. It's very good business. It is good business. No denying it. Arda Güler from Turkey again. If Mitrik's in the squad, Arda isn't a bad level for a sub. No, possibly not. Tony would have been great. Yeah, this again, I'm not sure. It's all gone a bit quiet on that, but it's all agreed and whatnot. We just don't know where we can deposit the funds. That's the problem. I think we've got enough sell for this window. A few more will go. Pulisic, Gallagher maybe as well. There's a few more on the list. That's not going to happen. Rabiot's just signed a new 1-year contract at Juventus, so he's not leaving. I think everyone should dial down on the excitement and hype. It's going to be a very difficult time for us for a season or two. Yeah, no, I agree. Look, we think we're going to get back in the Champions League, but ultimately the reality of the situation is, guys, that there's no guarantees that we will. The Premier League, as I was saying earlier, is very competitive now. Aston Villa are moving mad. Newcastle are moving mad. So are Brighton. You know, it's going to be tough to get back in. Spurs are, you know, if they keep Harry Kane, they've signed a great player in James Maddison. They'll get a few more centre-backs in. Things could be looking a little bit better for them. Oh, yeah, Reece James, man like Reece all day. Zakarian is a great shout, but unavailable. Danny Olmo, again, he's on a new contract at Leipzig. Pulisic talks have already started. Yeah, we'll get onto that in a sec. Yep, 23 million, 100 million euro package for Brozovic is mad. Reece James to Arsenal. Nah, absolutely not. Good from Reece on Twitter, by the way. Pochettino, he can choose which players to bring in. Yeah, he can. Now, Zaha's not crap. Livakovic, I think, is going to Fiorentina anyway. I think he's all right, but there's a reason why he spent most of his career in the Croatian league. No, Broz didn't decline Saudi. It's a new one. Top Dog RLG, big up for the donation, much appreciated as always. What do you think we'll do in terms of the left back options? Personally, want us to sell Cucurella, loan Martin, and keep Hall as he's more versatile. Martin would have to sign a new contract if he's going to go out on loan. Cucurella, as much as people wanting him to be sold, he won't be sold because an offer won't come in that's acceptable, and B, we put a big outlay in him. He's only been here 1 season. I think he'll be a lot better next season. So for me, Hall's an interesting one because at the moment, you know, he's not going to get minutes ahead of Cucurella and Chilwell on a regular basis. In his actual position in midfield, I'm not sure there's really a space there for him. So I suspect that, you know, Hall maybe will go. I suspect Martin will be sold and Hall could go on loan potentially as well. It just depends what's best for his development at this point in time. Our new pay structure probably has a basic ceiling of about 125. I'm not sure if that's totally true. Again, depends if we sign a striker in the summer. Otherwise, maybe we go from him. Now, big up from Lithuania. By the way, guys, pop in the chat where you're tuning in from around the world. Always interested to hear where everyone's watching from. Yeah, mate, they're trying to get rid of him. £80 million on a fridge, mate. You know, that's poor. I would like Gallagher to stay. Fair. Pochettino will make our existing players far, far better. Mudryk with quality coaching could be a revelation. Yeah, no, he absolutely could be. Absolutely could be. What else is going on here? Phil Jones, a striker. No, Chile's not on the sell list. He's on a new 4-year contract last season. How many teams? It's 5 other teams. Livakovic starts for Croatia. Can be a good and cheaper option for us. Yeah, but I think he's going to Fiorentina. We'll finish top 3 in the Premier League with the squad we have with the new additions. I mean, I'd love that, but I think that's a very ambitious shout. Very ambitious shout. How many teams would be eligible? 5. But yeah, guys, for me, it looks like it's going to be Gabri Veiga. But again, if City are genuinely interested and come knocking, we could have a problem getting that deal across the line. So we absolutely need a couple more options up our sleeves to see what the thing is. Although, Sammy Mockbell in the Daily Mail, great writer, has just released an exclusive now, ironically, on Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha set to become a free agent. 200k per week offer from Palace officially expires tomorrow and remains unsigned. Dialogue ongoing, but Zaha wants to explore other options. Zaha wants a Champions League chance with Lazio, managed by Maurizio Sarri, interested. Which, you know, let's wait and see. Let's see what happens on that one. Yeah, let's wait and see what happens with Zaha. But yeah, well, I can't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Kudos or Veiga, but it looks far more likely to be Veiga. I think Szoboszlai is probably going to be a bit of a stretch, having already taken Nkunku off Leipzig. I think Szoboszlai will cost a lot of money. I think he had a €70 million release clause, but I think that expires tomorrow. I think so. Yeah, I think that's going to be difficult. We tried Fredson Alvarez back in January, was it, or last summer, or whenever it was. I think he's decent-ish, but he's not. I don't know. He's not amazing. Is my thing on that. I don't think he's terrible. Big up from Singapore. All the players we bought last season at least get some exciting coaching from Pochettino and will improve. Let's hope so. I don't know what's going on there. No to Zaha, fair. What else have we got here? We need a backup DM for Kaisado. No, we do. We haven't even got Kaisado yet. Let's keep our feet on the ground. We do need another one. With teams like Brighton, Villa, Newcastle getting stronger, you feel the way we are moving will make top 4 or top 6. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. What Sobot slides one. Big up for another donation, my guy. To be honest, only way I can see us getting top 4 is if we sign a world-class goalkeeper and striker. Also, who will we keep as a midfield options for next season? Agreed on both those points. Midfield for next season, for me personally, if we can do it, it'll be Enzo, Kaisado, Lavia, Chukwuemeka, and Santos or Cassidy. One of those that goes on loan. Those would be my choices for midfield next season. Pulisic to Palace, not going to happen. Alvarez form has dropped. Yeah, no, it has a bit. I don't know to say he's not Chelsea level. He was going to Dortmund, but that's fallen through now. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Eze. Big fan of Eze. New keeper, absolutely important. Can't lie. Can't lie. I'm a little worried. I'm impatient, so I need to see some incomings. Everyone is active, and I know we've had a few players to get rid of, but I'll be unable to. No, we are multitasking. It's just. It has gone quiet on the Lavia front as well. It really has. I think we should pay 65 million for Manuel Ugarte and bring him in. Don't you think? But he gone now for PSG. Yeah, he went to PSG. That was dealt with a while ago, unfortunately. Yeah, they will all be assessed in pre-season, and then a decision will be taken on that front. But yeah, to round out sort of the Mason Mount replacement situation, look, Kudos is going to be very difficult to do a deal for. Gabri Veiga would be the obvious one. Outside of that, I'm really not too sure what's going to happen, people. I'm really not too sure what's going to happen on that front. So let's see. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on from Mason Mount replacements, and let's talk about the goalkeeping situation, people, because interesting today, Fabrizio reporting on Andre Onana that obviously United have now had direct talks to be informed on the Onana deal in the last 24 hours. Highly rated by Ten Hag. Obviously worked together at Ajax. Still waiting to clarify the De Gea situation. Inter want at least 50 to 55 million euros. Now, that doesn't really seem like it doesn't seem like a lot of money for a top goalkeeper. And I'm wondering why Chelsea have pulled out of that. Have they genuinely pulled out for financial reasons, or they pulled out because they know that Onana wants United and they don't want to go through the sort of the embarrassment of being rejected for another club? I'm not really sure what the reason is, because if we're looking for a top goalkeeper, you're not going to get a top keeper for less than 55, 60 million euros. Oblak is still at Atletico Madrid. Be very, very difficult to get him out of the club. Maybe they want to spend the money elsewhere, possibly. But I just look at it, and Chelsea have been strongly linked with James will be right back next season. Onana's been strongly linked with Chelsea. Chelsea reportedly really likes him. I think Ravel was a big fan of his. He was ticking a lot of boxes, but about 55 million euros, maybe 60 million euros. That seems like a really good deal. So I don't believe, I'd be shocked if we pulled out for financial reasons, but then go and spend more on someone else. I'm not too sure on that one. It doesn't really make sense. I think maybe he preferred Man United or whatever it was. But yeah, that's a strange one for me. Maybe we'll go back in from. I'm not sure, but to me, it seems clear that that either our priorities have changed, which is a possibility, or we know that Onana wants United, so we've kind of walked away from the situation. But that is really cheap, so I'm quite surprised that. I mean, it feels mad calling 55 million euros cheap, but it just that doesn't. Yeah, it's clear that perhaps maybe we've been out. He doesn't want to play for Chelsea, which is fine. Obviously disappointing, but ultimately at the end of the day, that is fine. In terms of the other goalkeeping news, I just wanted to briefly touch on that situation with Onana. Was a situation slightly more concerning. It depends how you look at it. Is that, according to Fabrizio Romano via his YouTube channel, Chelsea are seriously considering Kepa Arrizabalaga as their first choice goalkeeper and signing a number 2. Anatoly Trubin is someone they appreciate. They don't want to spend crazy money on a goalkeeper. So yeah, it's interesting. It really is interesting, this. So Trubin, Shakhtar Donetsk goalkeeper. obviously a young goalkeeper. I absolutely have no idea about any of his attributes or anything to do with him because I have never ever watched him play. This is the first time. This is the first time that I've heard of Trubin. So I can't really understand what the situation is. So let's wait and see on kind of what happens with Trubin. But it's interesting that the club are prepared to not spend big on a keeper, maybe bring in a second choice younger keeper. But what's the point in us bringing a younger keeper in when we've already got Gabriel Solana? So why are we bringing another younger keeper in? It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense to me at all. I'm not really sure what we're doing here. Obviously, I understand that, a new manager coming in Pochettino want to make his own assessment of Kepa. And Kepa, for what it's worth, in my opinion, is nowhere near as bad as so many people make him out to be. But at the same time, I fully appreciate that the goalkeeper is a position we absolutely have to upgrade on. But in terms of priorities this summer in midfield, centre forward and goalkeeper, a goalkeeper's at the bottom of the list, in my opinion. And I'd much rather us spend more money on the midfield, spend more money on the centre forward, keep Kepa for one more season. Don't forget, guys, that, we like Kepa in the defence wasn't the reason we were so shit last year. The reason we were so shit last year is we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. So, I think Kepa for one more season wouldn't be a disaster. I'd much rather us take our time on this and get the goalkeeper we want rather than just bring a goalkeeper in for the sake of it because we're desperate, almost like we did with the Kepa. We're kind of scrambling after Courtois left and we spent massive money on Kepa. So it's an interesting one for me. Going down the younger route, or maybe we might go for a more experienced keeper as a bit of a stopgap. But it's clear that maybe Chelsea ideally would like to bring a first choice in, but perhaps the options they want at first choice is maybe not available. Maybe too much money. I'm not really too sure on that whole situation, people. But it's a bit of an interesting one. Big up for this donation. Not sure what channel it's on. If it's on Chelsea Fan TV or my channel, then it's greatly appreciated either way. Zane, big up my guy. If I pronounce your name properly, Arteta will work his magic with Havertz, Rice, and Timber in. Come on, you Gunners. Fair. I took some heat from the Gunners on Twitter for my Declan Rice comments. So. Yeah, pretty. I mean, we'll see who's laughing in 12 months' time. I'm sure it's been bookmarked and screenshotted by a load of people. But yeah, let's wait and see. Arsenal, look, banter aside, Arsenal were obviously showing their intention in the market, building something serious. Rice, Havertz, Timber. It's a good window. It's a lot of money spent. So the expectation goes up, and a trophy realistically needs to be delivered. But yeah, big up. Thank you for the donation. More sense to get Henderson / Martinez. Henderson, absolutely not. Martinez, Martinez is going to be difficult. Again, the links for him have gone pretty quiet. What else we got here? Exactly, our defense last season was okay. We just couldn't score goals. Kepa bad keeper. I don't say it's bad. It's just not of the required level that we need. Again, I've talked about this. I think it's going to Thingy. Thanks for this donation, Uba. I've not actually put any comment there, but appreciate the donation anyway. Felix tweet, I'll get to that in a sec. My heart was set on Onana. I've never seen a keeper that good with his feet. He basically kept Inter in the game against City. Yeah, look, he's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal with his feet. Maybe there's a load of surprises in the new FFP window. Maybe there is. Havertz as an 8 won't work. Well, there's only one way to find out. Reckon they have a top goalkeeper target in mind, but prepared to wait a year to get him. That absolutely could be a possibility. There's no denying it. That absolutely could certainly be a possibility. But again, we're just going to have to wait and see kind of what happens on that front. I hope Rice flops at Arsenal. I don't think he will. Mount is going to be a massive loss. Look, I think it's a big loss, but ultimately people have got their different opinions. So let's wait and see on that. Same here, Mr. Smooth. Good riddance. We need to go for Diogo Costa. Yeah, but again, if we're saying that Onana potentially too expensive at 55 million euros and Chelsea don't want to spend big money on a goalkeeper, Diogo Costa has got a 65 million pound release clause. So I don't think that's happening. Matt Sells from Strasbourg. Don't know much about him at all. I don't know when the Nicholas Jackson announcement is. I'm not sure if we're waiting for a new shirt or what the holdup is, but that's all been agreed. That's all done. So I'm not too sure what the situation is. I'm not too sure on that one. Watched Kepa v City. I was at that game. Yeah, for sure. You know, he's made some mistakes this season, but he was one of our better performers this season for sure. Cogmud, when we have the new season, yeah, maybe it'll be Robert Sanchez. Those links seem to have gone a little bit quiet again, but it is interesting how Chelsea don't particularly want to spend a large sum of money on a goalkeeper, which makes me think that they'll bring in a number 2 keeper and then maybe look to replace the Kepa as number 1 next season. The problem we've also got is that it's really difficult for us to get rid of Kepa because of the money the wages that he's on. You know, there's very few takers for him, which again is another issue. With a perfect chance, it's not as simple as that. We haven't missed anything. You know, football doesn't work like that. It's not simple. I will just offer player plus cash. There's a reason why player plus cash deals very rarely are done, because they're very difficult to agree. Only Saudi can afford Kepa, probably. Selena will go on loan this season. I'm pretty sure of it. Selena will go on loan. But it is, for me, it's an interesting stance that the club are taking on this one. It is certainly an interesting stance. There's no two ways about it. And I'll be interested to see kind of what happens in the goalkeeping department. I wouldn't suspect much movement on a move for a goalkeeper, maybe until we get back from pre-season potentially. That's my feeling on it. But again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, I don't know. Let's wait and see what happens on this one, people. But it's a slight, I don't know if it's a strange decision from the club. But I trust the club to make the right decision. Kepa playing for one more year for me, not a total disaster. I'd rather us wait the year, as I said, bring in the absolute target that we want, and just bring a number 2 in this summer, or someone that could potentially challenge. And we go from there. What else have we got here? How does loan player to Strasbourg's work when the team is part of our group? I think we just loan them out. I think we tell him. I don't really know exactly how it works. There's a possibility on that front as well. Maybe we should trust Kepa for this season and decide at January or next August. We could do that. Also, player swaps does not show that much profit on the books. No, it doesn't. When Nkunku got announced this, I know. I'm still waiting for the new kit. My head is too small to understand the goalkeeper situation. And none of the best things since sliced bread. Fair. I'll wait and see what the squad looks like for the season. At the moment, though, it's looking very light on experience and options in a few positions. Yeah, it is, but you know the season's still over a month away. So let's hold fire and kind of wait and see what happens on that front. So yeah, that's kind of the latest update on the goalkeeping situations. Nothing really too new to update, other than the fact that Chelsea potentially targeting a number 2 rather than a number 1 at this point in time. But again, that could potentially change. We have to wait and see on that front. Ollie up the Chelsea, agreed, my guy. Oh, we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about now. We're going to talk about the future now. But again, guys, keep smashing those likes, people. What are we on at the moment? On my channel, immaturity, 69 likes. Oi, guys, let's get those likes up, people, on my channel. Guys, I'm still over 50 of us locked in on my channel. Big up to you all. Let's get this up to 80 likes. Let's get it towards 100 likes if we can, guys. Still loads of you locked in over on Chelsea Fan TV as well. So get that up to 100, up to 150 plus likes on the channel, people. But yeah, on my channel, guys, let's get this moving, people. Let's get it moving. Let's get to 80, 90, 100 likes if we can. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you in the chat. Try and get through as many of your messages as possible. So in return, if you could just hit the like button, it would be greatly appreciated. And whilst you're at it, people, make sure, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to both channels, guys. It's greatly appreciated by myself and everyone over at Chelsea Fan TV as well. These streams are nothing without you, and a simple click of the subscribe button would be greatly appreciated and really helps us out more than you could ever imagine. So links to both channels, Chelsea Fan TV and my channel, are in the chat, people. So make sure you subscribe and show us some love. Up the Chelsea, July will be a madness for Bowley and Egg Barley. Yeah, let's wait and see. Mountain Havertz, 125 million. What a deal. Everyone is going to the mineral stream. I don't know what time that's starting, but yeah, it's going to be box office for all the wrong reasons. absolutely deluded geezer. I'm so elated that Chelsea almost made around 209 million. Yeah, absolutely great. No midfielders will get relegated. I don't think we'll get relegated, but yeah, we're certainly not going to get relegated. But yeah, we do need some more midfielders through the door. Let's talk about Kaisado briefly. Yeah, I am Michael. It's my name on the screen. So feel free to drop me a follow on Twitter, guys. I'm always at 2,000 followers over there, so feel free to do that. Let's get the Moises Caicedo situation up. No, not that one. Not that one either. Where is it? This one here. So, latest on Kaisado. According to Matt Law, Chelsea will now step up their efforts to sign Moises Caicedo. Brighton valued Caicedo at around £100 million, but Chelsea hope to set up a deal worth around 80 million with personal terms already thought to have been agreed. So, that's the update on Caicedo. I think we're waiting for a lot of these guys to be sold, for the outgoings to be done, and now we're going to fully focus on attacking this. This needs to be, as I've said many times, we need to get this almost one and done if we can. I mean, if we can, one and done would be absolutely superb. But ultimately, I think it could take a couple of bids. Brighton are going to be difficult to negotiate with. But yeah, the bid should be incoming. When's it? July, Saturday. Maybe we could expect our first bid over the weekend. If not, certainly on Monday. I would hope. Certainly on Monday. But let's wait and see what happens on that front. But we absolutely have to get this right. We cannot afford to get this wrong. I think we've done our due diligence with this. We're working really well on this deal behind the scenes, getting the personal terms agreed, and all that stuff. And then of course we've also got Win Stanley, who was involved with taking Caicedo from South America to Brighton, knows his family and all that sort of thing. So that again is another big plus. Kaisado and Enzo is a superb partnership in the middle of the pitch. It'd be great in the pivot. So let's wait and see what the situation is with what happens to the Kaisado when the bid goes in. What the bid will be. But we can't afford to be in a situation where this is getting dragged out over a number of weeks, where it's like it takes 2, 3, 4 bids. This needs to be done in 2 bids. The first 2 bids, this deal's got to be wrapped up, done and dusted. You see how quickly deals can be done? They can be done very, very quickly. So let's see what happens with Kaisado. I would imagine, I wouldn't expect anything tomorrow, but never say never in the transfer window. I'd expect maybe over the weekend or certainly early next week, we'll get a Kaisado deal, a Kaisado bids go in, and then from there, let's see how long the negotiations take. But what have we got in the chat here? I think we need to get Kaisado to partner Enzo in midfield. Absolutely. Osimhen, great player, going to be way too expensive. I believe in the team as well, but there's still a lot of things that need to go that we need to get right. 90 plus 5, I call it now. I don't think we'll go that high. I really don't. But I could be wrong. Brighton going to bid big for Colwell after selling Kaisado. I reckon they can bid big for Colwell, but he's not for sale. That's the reality of the situation. Brighton being really annoying. Agreed on that front. I hope we get Kaisado cheaper than absolutely. Kaisado is going to be way cheaper than Rice for sure. Transfers always take a while. So many things to go through. So Kaisado, Kaisado will happen. I think it will happen as well. Cucurella same price as Mount. Chelsea are a shambles. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's the latest on Kaisado. Is that not really any new news? Chelsea, now that these outgoings are done, will obviously the bid should go in imminently, and then from there I believe that we do need one more. I don't know who we're going to get, but it is going to be interesting. You look at who we could get. I mean, you might get guys that you're looking at Lavia, Kone, Kefram Turam. These are 3 names that we could go for, but ultimately Kaisado is the main one, and I'm not sure who the backup one's going to be. Things have gone very quiet on Kaisado, on Lavia. Things have gone very quiet on Kone, on Turam. I'm not really sure what we go. There is a potential situation where we end up with keeping Gallagher, and we go with Gallagher, Enzo, Kaisado, Chukwuemeka, and one of Santos and Cassidy. That is a potential situation we could find ourselves in. But we do. I personally feel we do need another midfielder. But as I've been saying, we eventually have to start backing and trusting what we're doing at this point in time. So yeah, I'm really not sure who the other midfielder could be, but I think Chelsea are keen to bring another midfielder in. I think it just depends on who it's going to be. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think if an offer comes in for Gallagher, then I think Chelsea would consider it. But to me, I think it seems more likely that that Gallagher will stay. I think Pochettino likes his attributes. So let's wait and see kind of what happens on that front. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that midfield, guys. Let's wait and see on that midfield. I think Santos was always considered to be a first-team player. Yep, true. But again, never played outside of the Brazilian top flight. So maybe a loan is needed for him. I'm not sure. It all's going to depend on pre-season. Yeah, Kaisado is more. Yeah, he can certainly play that role. That's what he'll be brought in to do. Play alongside Enzo. If he'll play at the base, he'll play as a number 6. If we go with a 3-man midfield, he'll play alongside Enzo in a pivot if we go 4-2-3-1. So there are obviously, plenty of options there. For number 8, experienced person will be good like Milinkovic-Savic. Milinkovic-Savic gets linked with a move away from Lazio like every single year. And then a move away from Lazio never seems to happen. Bid for Mohamed Kudus. I mean, yeah, again, he's going to be difficult to get. Brighton are also after Kudus as well. So that's going to be a tricky one to negotiate. But yeah, it is what it is on that front. Let's wait and see kind of what happens, people. Are Chelsea challenging for the title next season? Absolutely not. How much is Chelsea going to pay Kaisado? No, it'll be around 80-85 million pounds. What of Andre Santos? I think he's a very talented boy. Like him a lot. Let's wait and see what happens. He'll be assessed in pre-season, and the decision will be made by Pochettino as to what is the right outcome for him on that front, guys. Yeah, mate, challenging for the Banter FC trophy. Just wonder how much game time Malagusta will get. I think he'll get quite a lot. Obviously, Reece injury record's not the best. Hopefully that changes next season. But I think Gusto will get plenty of opportunity to play for Chelsea next season. Absolutely, for sure. Might as well buy Brighton. We're absolutely going to win the league next season, mate. If we win the league next season, fair play to you. But that is absolutely outrageous. Old head in the midfield would be good to add to the squad. We've been linked with Frank Kessie potentially as well. There was only one report emanating from Spain, so I'm not sure how accurate or reliable that is. Poch needs at least 2 seasons to sort the mess out. I agree on that. I think next season will be an improvement, but I don't think it will be until the following season where we start to see the real fruits of Pochettino's labour at Chelsea. I think it's going to be tricky, people. I do think it's going to be tricky, but let's wait and see kind of on that front what is going to happen. But yeah, I think people, if anyone's got any questions, guys, last few minutes, any questions at all, then I'll take those in the chat, and then in about 5 minutes or so, people, we will round this one out unless any new news is coming. But yeah, guys, questions in the chat, get them in, people, get them in. What have we got going on here in the chat? What formation do you think we'll play next season? A combination of 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3. What are my expectations for next season? Get back into the Champions League, form an identity and a style of football, and win a domestic cup. That's what I'd like us to do. There's no excuse to not take the cup seriously. So for me, Champions League football, an absolute must, and win a domestic cup. But again, I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask for. I'm not saying it's both going to happen. I'd rather the trophy than the Champions League football potentially for me. But let's wait and see. I think Chelsea will not win league next season. No, we won't. We're not winning the league. No, tricky first game against Liverpool. Yeah, it will be tricky, but ultimately, I think it's a great game to start with. You get playing a big side out the way, and there's no form to go off either. So yeah, I think it's a good game to strike with. Which player do you think will thrive under Poch? I think Midweeke could be really, really good. I also think Enzo Fernandez could go on another level as well. Theo, big up my guy. Predicted midfield start versus Liverpool first day of the season. Tricky. If we go 4-2-3-1, it'll just be Enzo and Kaisado in the middle, within Nkunku 10. If we go 4-3-3, Kaisado holding, Enzo, and I'll go Chukwuemeka at this point in time. Our main attack next season, I don't know who we're going to get as a striker. So I'm going to go Jackson up front, Mudryk, Madueke, and Kunku in the 10. Who do you think will be sold or loaned, considering, well, there's a few more to go out the door. Probably Pulisic out the door as well. I think Kaisado probably go on loan, maybe Slonina as well. Obviously, the new guy signed from Santos will go on loan. At least 3 years for sure. Spurs have signed a Jim Madison. Yeah, it's a really good deal for them. Are we going to be a lot better next season? Well, we can't be much worse. So do what United did this season. Champions League football, 5th place, and a League Cup. I don't see why not. That's not impossible. We need to play one formation that works, not switch every other game. Agreed, but it's good to be versatile in multiple systems. Mount should be ashamed of himself. I wonder what JT would be thinking about him right now. I've got no idea. In your opinion, what player is going to stand out especially well? I think obviously Enzo, Reece James. I think Madueke is a massive season. Mudryk. Yeah, mate, he's got no idea. I don't even want to look at that shit. We need to get Onana from Inter after the fraudulent Lukaku stealing our money. Yeah, would be ideal if we could do that. It'd be nice to see Chelsea perform better without Mount and Havertz. Well, I mean, I don't think they were the reason we were shit, but let's wait and see what happens. What does Poch need to sort out first when he starts working? Style of play. Get us scoring goals. Too expensive and the manager doesn't fancy him. I hope that Chelsea will not lack winning mentality. I hope not as well. At least we can never talk about Mount and Havertz ever again. Yep, true. What about Onana from Everton? Yeah, a good player again, but I think it's going to be quite expensive. Let's wait and see what happens. Yeah, I fully believe Brozier's sticking about. I think Poch is going to fall in love with Chukwuemeka. I think he likes him big time as well. HTPZ, what's that? Is live. Madueke looks promising for England under 21s. Absolutely, he does. He does. I think we've got some really exciting players, some really exciting talent which can be developed. What are the nicest Chelsea players I've met? Enzo was great. Koulibaly was a top guy. I know he's not a Chelsea player anymore, but Koulibaly was great. Reece James was a top guy. Mudryk was really nice as well. I'm trying to think who else I've met. Aubameyang was perfectly nice. Obviously, I've met JT as well. I haven't met Frank, which is a shame. Would have liked to have met him. Do you still know selling a new striker apart from Jackson? Possibly, but again, this is not as big a guarantee as I think it is, as people think it is. I hope that Chelsea will not lack money. Do you think there will be more variety on pies at the Bridge on match days? I've got absolutely no idea. I don't eat at the Bridge on match days. I always eat before because it's shit and it's a rip-off in there. But I don't know. Best pies in the league, by the way, Brighton, hands down. If you ever go to the Amex, guys, make sure you try the pies. Unreal. Preferred striker, I'd probably say Lautaro Martinez for me. Yeah, I'm disappointed as well, bro. I am. Do you think it would be worth keeping Pulisic for right wing? No, absolutely not. Mudryk seems like he could have a big ego, so it's good to hear he's nice. Yeah, no, he's a top guy, real down to earth, quite quiet, quite shy. But yeah, if there's any more news, I'll probably look to round this one out, people. If Chelsea could have bought Enzo's buddy Julian Alvarez to Chelsea somehow this year, would be definitely. It's not going to happen. What do you think about Vlahovic? I think he's a good player again, but I wouldn't be against him coming in. But my preference out of the two would be Martinez. Did Mudryk ask you to change camera angle while taking a photo? Nah, he didn't. He didn't. 5 midfielders have left. I'll sign Kaisado, Pellegrini, Subastar, Veiga. Veiga, I think, is likely to come along with Kaisado. I'd say those are likely to be the two next signings, bar any other potential randoms from Brazil. Could be awkward for Pulisic in the locker room on the first. Yeah, but they don't go back on the first. They'll start coming back next week in staggered situation. But yeah, guys, seems like a good point to round this one out, people. Thank you so much to each and every single one of you for tuning in tonight. I greatly appreciate all of you for tuning in. You know, obviously, when I'm doing it on my own, it's great to have you all in the chat and interacting. It is massively appreciated. So thanks a lot for tuning in. As I said, appreciate all of you. Guys, on the way out, make sure you keep smashing the likes on both channels. I'm on 73 likes on my channel. Let's get that up to at least 80 likes on the way out. Guys, get Chelsea Fan TV up to 150 over there and beyond. And people, please make sure you subscribe to both channels as well. Show myself some love and show Chelsea Fan TV some love as well. The link to both channels is in the chat now. Make sure you subscribe to both of those, guys. All your support is massively appreciated. So please do that. So the links to both channels are in there. Big up everyone in the chat. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back tomorrow with more transfer news. Let's wait and see what tomorrow's got in hold for us. The Mason Mount saga is over, guys. We don't have to talk about this anymore. It's done. It's dusted. He's joined Manchester United. That's it. It's over, guys. So smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe to both channels. Links in the chat. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back tomorrow with another transfer update. Until then, guys, take care. Up the Chelsea and peace out.